look, the big picture here is the EV market's continuing to boom as prices come down. And I think expect 30% year over year growth globally from 10.5 million units in 2022 to close to 14 million units this year. This means that almost 20% of all cars sold globally are EVs today. That's stunning.
Tesla is one of the most shorted stocks in the market, and there are lots of Tesla bears out there. However, what's interesting is that many of these bears, including those who short Tesla stock, have had to pay the price for it. Today, we're going to explore the possibilities of Tesla reaching $10 trillion in valuation, at least by 2030, as well as what it's going to take for the automaker to get there.
It's not just this one-off kind of weird EV brand luxury that is out there that people don't really think about. When people are starting to look at purchasing cars, they're starting online, first of all, because the dealer lots have disappointed them time and time again. And so they start online, they end up checking out Tesla. They see how affordable these cars are. This company is set to benefit in a really, really big way, not just from the EV boom. I think that Tesla has moved well past that and is just a really iconic, almost luxury brand that now a lot of people can get into for $40,000 or less, which is very impressive the way they've executed on this strategy.
Andy, when I look at all the topics that we could talk about when we're looking at Tesla, we could talk about the Cybertruck, we can talk about the Tesla Semi, we can talk about the charging network, we can talk about autonomous driving, we can talk about green energy and energy storage, AI, robotics, the robo-taxi, all these names that we're talking about. And the other side always wants to talk about valuation, right? This is, this stock is overvalued. It's got valuation problems. And they also say the price is coming down, that could be margin problems. But I want your honest opinion. Is the street reading this wrong with the margins? I see Tesla pressing its advantage when it comes to margins because he's got room on margins to come down and almost strangle the other EV makers and still make plenty of money. And you see the numbers, you see the deliveries. People see that as desperation from them, lowering the prices. I think he has got a chokehold on these other companies and he's using it. Andy?
Yeah, we were on this show with you guys, I think, just a few months ago talking about this. And I tried to make the case at that time that this is a strategic move. This is not a move out of desperation. We see it in the data time and time again that demand for Tesla vehicles is very, very high.
Tesla is one of the most highly valued car companies in the world, and that's one of the many reasons to own shares of this controversial, but also highly trusted EV maker. New technology trends, energy companies, the state of the market, and future growth prospects all provide insight and analysis to help you navigate the investment landscape. For experts like Sandy Munro, Cathie Wood, Dan Ives, and even Alexandra Merz, Tesla's growth story is just getting started. The EV influence on energy, transport, and job creation is going to play a key role in shaping the future. Now this is where it gets interesting. Tesla's valuation has been questioned for a while, and while it isn't certain what the future holds, we think Tesla will one day be a force to be reckoned with a valuation in the millions and a stock price of up to $11,000. In this video, we're going to take you through several market advantages of Tesla, as well as why we think the car company is going to make history. Let's dive in.
Tesla's Model Y is another major story that we're tracking here this morning. The Model Y reportedly getting a makeover. The EV maker is building out a new version of its Model Y in its Shanghai plant, with production kicking off as soon as mid-2024, according to a new report from Bloomberg. Yahoo Finance senior reporter Pras Subramanian has some of the details on this one. Hey, Pras.
Hey, how you doing? So basically, we heard about this back in March, that they were planning to revamp the Model Y. It was called Project Juniper. Now, the Bloomberg report today does not mention that code name, but it seems as though this project is back on track for mid-2024. They had to stop the factory for a couple times to actually revamp it, right, to make this thing. But I'm kind of curious about why we haven't. So first of all, the Model 3 has been revamped, and it's out in China and other markets, but we haven't gotten that yet.
Do they have nice interiors, Pras? Are they going to get any better, higher quality? Because they're kind of dumpy.
Yeah. Dumpy? I mean, I would say that they're definitely minimalist, right? That's probably the way we'd want to refer to it as. But they're doing stuff like adding ambient lighting.
That's
right?
kind of cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
but
quick.
a lot of cars have ambient lighting now, right? Even like base cars have that. So it's kind of like maybe a little too late. Look, the Model Y is a great car. It's a best-selling car potentially in the world this year. Tesla needs to do these little slight tweaks to make it a bit more competitive with the space, right? So I see why they're doing this, but I'm kind of curious. When is that going to come to the U.S.? Because we haven't seen the updated Model 3 yet in the U.S.
And it's a touchscreen. It's a giant touchscreen on an interior product.
Yeah, I will say I've driven the Model Y recently. I rented it from Hertz, because they don't allow press to drive those cars, and I found it to be actually a very good product compared to the other EV offerings.
You know, that ambient lighting hits a little bit different, and the screen as well. I mean, you might as well feel like you're in Apple iTunes visualizer mode once you hit that ludicrous mode within that Tesla as well. So let's not hate on the ambient lighting out here.
Okay, fine. Bullish on ambient lighting, but Praz, also BYD out with some news today, and really it's hard to imagine you're on a highway, high-speed highway, and you're going to see driverless cars, but that time may be now.
Yeah, I mean, in BYD in particular as well, with Tesla, they're working on their self-driving software there. But you mentioned BYD; they're probably going to pass Tesla in all electric car sales for the first time ever. Tesla probably going to deliver around 480,000 this quarter. The thinking is that BYD might make around 500,000 this quarter, passing for the first time, not for the year but for the quarter. Kind of a big deal there because in China that's a huge market for them, and they sell 6 cars below the cost of a Model 3 right now.
As Tesla fans, we are very familiar with the long-term nature of Tesla stock, and like every Tesla fanboy, we love to explore how the car company and its growth, innovation and market growth all affect its price, stock, and long-term investment strategy. One of the major topics in the investment world is Tesla, and its constant pursuit of innovation, the driving force behind its success. We believe that Tesla and its commitment to new technologies can take the car company to new heights in the next 10 years, and several analysts also share those thoughts. Hey guys, welcome back to Tesla Tomorrow. The world is moving towards sustainable energy, and Tesla is at the forefront of this revolution. The automaker and its global footprint continue and will continue to do so as Tesla expands its business and opens up to new markets and territories over the next decade. Of course, predicting the future is uncertain, but expert analysis provides important information. These insights indicate that Tesla's vision in 2030 is still full of possibility that could impact and change the world. Before we carry on though, if you like this type of content, hit that like button, subscribe and turn on post notifications to keep up to date on everything going on with Tesla. In less than a decade, Tesla has said to have grown from a simple car company to a company with raw materials, manufacturing capabilities, scale, volume, and enormous pricing potential. Analysts like Alexandra Merz have predicted that Tesla will produce 20 million vehicles by 2033. And other Tesla bulls have also said that Tesla can make $10 billion to $12 billion this year, which is likely to be the highest in the decade. Tesla and the growth of the motor vehicles that it produces may accelerate due to the high demand for EVs.
EVs are superior in almost every way to ICE vehicles, so we should really see adoption hit the S-curve. Now, in terms of what the outlook is for 2024, the last conference call Tesla had was one of the most morbid I've ever heard, and I've been covering the stock for a long time. And what that did was it resulted in estimates for next year, for 2024, coming down. So Tesla's always had this aspirational goal of growing its units by 50% a year. The good news is that now consensus is about 20%. So people have already factored in this reduction in an outlook for 2024. So we'll see what they have to say about demand. We're at about a little bit less than 2.3 million units. The street's about a little bit less than 2.2, and we'll see where they end up. But ultimately, what people are looking to is not what happened this year or might not even happen next year. It's the earnings growth outlook for 2025 and beyond. And we're close to $10 in earnings in 2025, probably more than that in 2026 and 2027, hopefully. And what we assume is obviously a lot of unit growth, but also a return to mid-20s gross margin. And over time, we think that margin has significant upside as they upsell full self-driving software to all the vehicles that are out there in the marketplace.
George, when you talk to investors, is there a subset that say, George, we appreciate your bullish take, we get it, we like what Tesla's working on, but we are not real fans of Elon Musk and how he has just come out here and on various social issues, and we are concerned about how this company might fare over the next few years because of what Musk does with X, SpaceX, whatever is the case. What do you tell them right now?
Well, so he is without a doubt a controversial figure, and says some things people don't like and says other things that people do like. But that hasn't changed in over 10 years. I recall, when people thought the company was going to go bankrupt in the late 2010s, he gave interviews where, he cried to a reporter. He smoked marijuana on the Joe Rogan podcast. So this ain't new news. He's who you have to take in to invest in Tesla stock. And thankfully, he's done an incredible job. I mean, he's being compared to Steve Jobs, right? And he's probably the tech titan of the last century. So look, people know who you're dealing with when you invest in Tesla. It's not new news. He's all over the place. We're fans, but that's for us to do. Ultimately, what matters with stocks, what matters is earnings growth. And we think there's a lot of earnings growth ahead for the company.
Even within a visionary leadership team, you still need realism as well at the end of the day, right, George? And so in terms of the targets that Tesla has really had to answer questions for, and quite frankly, on some of the both model side and even delivery of targets that they've set forward for the amount of vehicles that they might produce one day, they've missed on some of those targets. So for the bull perspective here, where do you still have to grapple with the missing of targets that Tesla continues to showcase?
Look, they've missed some near-term targets throughout the history of the company, without a doubt. They've actually beat some too. But when Elon Musk talks, when he's giving his goals to the world,
the EV market is growing, and it's hard to say what the future holds for Tesla. However, one thing is for sure, and that is many people will be using EVs in the future. It is very likely that these vehicles will soon become even more popular in the future than they are now, and there are many events to support this claim. First up, the market will grow from $287.36 billion in 2021 to $1.318.22 billion in 2028, more than the decline in 2020 due to the pandemic. Also, in 2022 to 24, it's likely going to be the best period for EV sales due to the launch of new electric vehicle models, which can be achieved with new policies and government support. According to ARK Invest CEO Cathie Wood, a potential shift towards EVs is expected to boost the EV market. And as it stands, more people are realizing the advantages of having EVs and are choosing these over ICE vehicles, especially if they're autonomous. And this is where FSD comes in with Tesla. The Tesla software and FSD are major milestones for the industry. The achievement of autonomy over the next decade may lead to a paradigm shift in transportation, with Tesla at the forefront of the shift. For instance, Alexandra Merz believes FSD will add 200% to Tesla, and his future investments include robots. She also noted that Tesla's stock market situation will see Tesla generating KRW 6 trillion in sales and KRW 3 trillion in profits based on 50% growth model. And for this value to come out, Tesla's electric power needs to be as big or bigger than its auto business. If Tesla can continue to expand its business with automotive and other industries, then there is a huge opportunity for growth in the future. Experts even predicted that in 10 years, Tesla will be able to access a lot of energy through its batteries, solar panels, and other products.
That the writing was on the wall actually about a year ago with Tesla when, gas prices were through the roof. I think that's when a lot of people decided that their next car was going to be electric, or at least they would give it serious consideration. And among electric vehicles, really Tesla is the only player worth talking about at this point. Their lead is so gigantic and growing at this point. And I think, for us at Likefolio, we really watch two things when it comes to Tesla. Of course, we're watching the gas price concerns and electric vehicle demand and things like that. But for Tesla specifically, we like to look at the number of people talking about it on social media, which is down year over year, 23%. For us, this is actually one of those very rare situations where we think this is actually a good sign, because last year what was happening was you had a confluence of two things. You had, high gas prices, and you had the CEO of Tesla, Elon Musk, embroiled in this entire drama around buying Twitter. which really distracted, I think, the shareholder base and Wall Street in general. So Tesla was a huge topic of conversation without it really being about the cars. And so now I think that has changed, and most of those mentions are about the cars. And we see that when we look at Tesla web visits, which are up 26% year over year, near all-time highs. And what this tells me is that, Tesla at this point is now part of the normal car shopping experience.
Tesla is a company that is well known for its exciting lineup of products and business models, which have all proven to be hugely successful over the years. The company's established itself as a business model with several sectors, reporting impressive numbers in revenue quarter after quarter. This diversity in Tesla's business model has been a major driver for its growth. If you look at it, Tesla has not only succeeded by being an EV manufacturer, but it's also made significant gains from energy, FSD, insurance, and even superchargers. All these make up Tesla's valuation, and will collectively send Tesla stock to a whole new level in the future. In 2011, Tesla started its aim at becoming the most compelling car company of the 21st century, while accelerating the world's transition towards EVs. At the time, it was pretty easy to dismiss as crackers or mere promises. But what Tesla has done in these years has been nothing short of incredible. In all the years since its founding in 2003, Tesla has managed to manufacture several groundbreaking cars, with some yet to even hit the road. For instance, Tesla's crossover, the Model Y, became the best-selling vehicle worldwide in the first quarter of 2023, and Elon Musk has said that the Cybertruck will probably be the best vehicle Tesla has ever made. The company looks after its own manufacturing, the repairs, and even insurance of its cars, since it has every incentive to make these vehicles simpler and cheaper. Tesla also runs an energy business, a business that grew significantly in the third quarter of 2022, with record sales and shipments of energy storage.
Us to be austere and stop using electricity and sort of be in the cold or anything. The story, and I think that this holds together quite well, and we'll be actually publishing a detailed white paper with all of our assumptions and calculations, is that there is a clear path to a fully sustainable Earth with abundance. In fact, you could support a civilization much bigger than Earth, than much more than the 8 billion humans, could actually be supported sustainably on Earth. And I'm just often shocked and surprised by how few people realize this.
According to the car company, Tesla's energy revenue rose 38.6% year over year to $1.117 billion, with cost of sales at $1.013 billion. The major issues would only involve the risk of inflation and recession, things that Tesla would eventually overcome. While these numbers are just predictions and estimates, they do provide real insight into what Tesla investors can expect from the stock, and it also helps investors who are unsure about investing in Tesla stock to make decisions based on real numbers. So whether or not you're a seasoned investor looking to keep an eye on Tesla and what it's up to, or someone looking to explore the potential of this innovative company, Tesla may be the best investment option you can find today. While analysts have actually argued that it is easy to predict ahead of time what the average investor can expect from Tesla, it is important to note it's very difficult to be slow on a company like Tesla, when there are so many catalysts to look at. While some are already working, others are yet to be implemented. Tesla stock is one of the most followed in the stock market, and it's not even surprising given shares of the automaker have performed incredibly well over the long term. Tesla is one of the biggest companies in the world right now, and it will continue to be so for many years to come. Anyone bearish on Tesla right now may not be fully aware of what this company is and how effective Tesla's business model is. Therefore, anyone who wants to invest in Tesla needs to understand the massiveness of this company. Only then can you decide if it's actually worth your investment. What do you think? Let us know down below. And if you want to know more about what Tesla's been up to over the last few days, go ahead and click on this next video on your screen. See you there.